stands in front of the speakers. But like you would know, get straight to the side. You know, it's the best place to be to watch a band, I reckon.
Yeah.
You're watching the drummer, and you're not getting blasted with sound, but you're seeing you're feeling like you're in the band.
You say you're not being blasted with sound. I've done ones at the Annandale because the speaker stack is right next to the bar at the front, and if you've you spoke to the management, you've kind of got your official lanyard on for the shoot, so you're sitting on the bar, right next to the speaker stack, right next. The very first time I was shooting there, I was shooting. Who was I shooting? It was Tonight Alive. I was shooting, and they were great, and I forgot to bring earplugs, and sat next to a speaker stack the size of a house, and I was 2 feet from it for several hours whilst Tonight Alive were playing, and I could not hear in my right ear for 2 weeks afterwards. It just ran.
That brings back a story of my youth, actually. I'm not sure if I told you the story last time I was here, Drew, but I can't remember exactly how old I was. I was in my late teens, I think, back in my New Zealand days, doing a course in Christchurch, and Deep Purple happened to be playing at the time, with Coverdale singing, unfortunately, not Gillan. Yeah. So I went on to QE2 Stadium to see my favourite band at the time. And I was the second row from the back at an outdoor concert of 50,000 people. There were complaints about the noise level from 20 miles away, and I couldn't hear for 3 days. Really? So I don't know what it was like to be on stage, but I'm sure they had earplugs on. Yeah. Unfortunately...
That was uncharted territory where bands wanted to be the loudest.
Well, they were the loudest band in the world at the time, I believe.
That would be
Guinness
horrible.
Book of Records. And I can't remember if it was 36 each side or combined, but Marshall stacks on the stage. And honestly, you couldn't hear the music. It was just an absolute loud blur. Your heart nearly was jumping out of your chest. And as I said, my ears were ringing for 3 days later.
I remember.
By the way, at least I can say I was there, you know.
I remember having the first time I ever saw Faith No More. Like that was it must have been 1990 or something. So that was still the old days in a way, as far as road, a lot of road crew about, a lot of PA, big speakers, and no noise restrictions really yet. And I remember having like ear hallucinations after. It was so loud, and I'd never been to it was my first big gig, so I remember being in front of the speakers, and it was just like, wow, the hard-ons were before them, right? So it was a really loud night, but I'd never had it really since. I had it a little bit once, but lying in bed later that night, it was like I could hear trumpets. It was like there was and I had no control. I had nothing. It was just like, and like, just my head was blasted.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of it.
Man, those old days, dude.
Yeah, the old days. Yeah.
When it comes to and I remember all my years when I'd load for lock and load, like a crew job in Sydney, when we'd load semi-trailers full of PA, particularly for any band that would play at Sydney and Entertainment Centre. Phil Collins and, someone's here, guys. Thank God. Hey, how are you, mate? Good. Come on in. We've been rolling.